All right, you clicked my last video, hopefully, if that's where you found this one. So thank you for coming back and watching another amazing video. So the things you need to know in the home and auto industry, we're talking about personal lines insurance. What's the stuff that you have to talk about? You just got through your exam, or you just want to see what I'm going to tell you that you need. You don't need a lot of it. Actually, probably 80% of it you're not going to need. You don't need to know the exact dates. You're never going to talk about the commissioner. One day someone will complain and you're going to find an email on DIFS.com, DIFS.com, Department of Financial Services. There's an email in there they can send off and they can message a complaint against whatever company they want. But it's never going to happen. I fair to say, I challenge you to tell me if it has ever happened. I've had 2 people in my 10 years ever ask, what can I do? I gave them the email, and I guarantee you they probably never sent the email. One person was actually recently, but she contacted me through YouTube just to let me know her situation, and she didn't want the email. So most people don't care about most of it. You're going to struggle with doing the sales part, which is the most important piece, and why I'm creating that course, because I see most agents never make it past the first year because they don't know how to sell. And that's one of the reasons you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going over that. It's going to be free information. You don't have to join my course to get a lot of these really high-end tips that have gotten me to where I am today. I'm actually in my basement. My kids are upstairs, so you might want to do this. All right, that's my personality. I'm sorry. It's part of what I am. You also don't need to know almost any of the situational pieces that you just went through your class. If you recently went through the exam and you're just figuring out like, okay, what are customers really going to ask me? You just got to get on the phone and try it. Let's skip the not covered stuff and let's talk about the things people are going to ask you. Number 1, what's my price? That's the first thing 80% of the people always ask you is, what kind of deal can you get me? That's the problem you're going to run into, because most customers you're going to have to go get. Friends and family, they're going to join. It's a 70% conversion rate. Congratulations. If you're smart, you're going to find a way to connect to more people like that and build your business off of referrals. There is an end point to that where there's not enough referrals. And that end point is far out, so you can go a long way on referrals, but you won't make much or as much as you could as if you had some sort of lead source coming in. And that essentially is going to feel like you're begging people just to get a quote. Most of them are going to hang up on you. You have to have thick skin. First thing they're going to ask is, what's my price? The next thing they're going to ask is, how long is this going to take? So notice how these whole conversations have nothing to do with coverage. I get it. Like when you first thought you're going to do insurance, you're like, oh, I'm going to help everybody. This is going to be amazing. They're all going to ask me, like, what's the best coverage? And I'm going to discover, like, oh, you're missing these pieces. Let me insure you correctly. And they're all going to, like, pay me with their credit cards and be like, yes, I love you. Let me go get 3, 4 other people. They need to talk to you. Good luck with that one. I'm sorry. Hit the thumbs down if you hate me for that, but it is what it is. Leave me in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about, or give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. You're in sales. You've done it long enough. You get it. Now, that's not to say that people don't need your help. In turn, begging people to do quotes or finding the fit for them to be you in most cases, which you'll learn as I go through this, is going to help that you're going to discover that they are missing those parts we're talking about. They are missing coverage and they are having difficulties with some situations. You're going to fill those gaps. And when you do, they won't always switch. If they do, that's it. That's the reason you joined insurance. You're helping them. Hopefully they never find out that they needed those coverages and you got them to have the right coverage in case it happens. But for the ones that do need them, and it does happen, that conversation is far better than the one that you have where they said, why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you notice this piece was missing? How could you do that? Those conversations, which I have had none of, those conversations are going to hurt more than the ones where you didn't get a few clients, but you protected them correctly. The talking pass, you need to know your coverage. You need to know the state minimums. You need to know what are the better coverages. Being in sales, you also need to flip that sales hat on and know what the price difference is between somebody that has state minimums and you sell them state minimums. Or in our case, I sell higher limits, so I don't typically benefit people when I'm at the state minimums, and I refer them to other companies that will. They're going to give you a better price than I will. Let's get you in the right direction. But if the case is that I have the state minimums, a customer with state minimums, and they realize that that's not enough, how much am I going to increase their premium by going up to the next level that I think they should be at? If you know up front that that is too big of a gap, you need to have that conversation with them. That's a big piece that you want to know, is what parts are you good at? What person or what profile of a customer are you going to be best fit for? When you know that, you can quickly realize that there are some customers that you shouldn't be talking to. Don't spend 20, 30, 45 minutes on the phone with the ones that you know that you're not a fit for. Get them in the right direction, help them, but don't spend your time with them. Because it's not only wasting their time, but it's financially for you. You're wasting money not having that availability to talk to another person that is a fit. So you got the coverages down for the state. That's amazing. Great job. I am proud of you for understanding that. Know your coverages that you have, 100, 300 and above in my case, and knowing that you're looking for specific clients. Personally, I only quote people based on attitude. It might sound mean, rude, or whatever the case is, but I don't want a client that is going to just chew out my service person every opportunity they get. They're more of a hassle. They take a lot of time. It's very similar to what Progressive does, and they charge customers when they have multiple calls. So if you get a client that calls Progressive and calls Progressive and calls Progressive, and what's my bill? What's my bill? What's this? I'm adding a car or removing a car. I'm doing this. Hey, I need a road service. Progressive charges for that. They actually have a fee that is included in the renewal for those situations. And I actually fairly agree with it for the most part, because one, they could be calling me, which is probably what they'll do, but now I'm chewing up my time for no cost for them. So don't waste your time with the people that you know aren't going to work. Understand the system that you're using is the next piece that you have to know, is you have to have some sort of program. If you're new and you're just going to start off with one or two companies, then great. You're going to take a lot of time and type in a quote for Progressive. You're going to type a quote with Allstate, whoever the case is that you're with, and it's going to take you time. Now, if you're with one of the major companies like Progressive, State Farm, Farmers, all of those, Liberty Mutual, those are corporations. Those guys are going to hire you, and they're going to teach you how to do all that. They're going to spend months training you, which is one of the biggest benefits that I got from Farmers, is they taught me a lot about the insurance industry in my first year. But knowing the system that you're going to use, especially if you're going to start your own agency and you're going to have multiple companies. Personally, if you are going to go at this hard and you're going to put a few $100,000 into this, or you're going to put whatever the amount of money you're going to do, you need to have a system that can quote multiple companies. That's more so for the person that is knowing they're going to quote a lot. If you're just starting off and you can't do it, then don't. If you have to type them all individually in each site, then it is what it is. Just start there. And the last part, just understand you're going to fail. It's part of the design. You're going to struggle to get through this, and I get it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to make it. As long as you hang around the flagpole and you're willing to learn as you go, you need a lot of coaching. That is why I've started this channel, is to help give free advice to you guys, and those that are looking for the more advanced and the more organized coaching. I'm going to create a course, which I'm going to link below, so you guys can learn that in the fashion that I've gone through. Don't get me wrong, I think you guys can make it with or without a course, whichever way you go, as long as you hang around the flagpole, find some people that will teach you the advice. Maybe just watch my free channel videos and you'll get it from there. Either way you go, you're here. You're doing it. Congratulations, let's go. I would recommend the next step is to let me know any questions that you have. Either leave them in the comments below, or my email will be on the About Me page. Send me a direct question. I'd love it if you did it in the video format. That would be the easiest, and I can share it on this channel and answer it live, which would be kind of neat. In the meantime, here's a video that you guys can watch that will help you go through some other options that you may be struggling with. Don't forget to subscribe, but turn that bell icon on so you don't miss future videos. I'm Mark W. Flockhart. I'll see you soon.